You know, inside your home, there's this hero working 24/7 that you probably take completely for granted. It doesn't have a cape, but it's in charge of your comfort, protecting you from the elements. We're talking about your HVAC system, and trust me, it's fighting a secret battle you probably don't even know is happening.
It's so easy to just think, oh, it's just fighting the temperature I set on the thermostat, right? But the truth is, the real enemies are way more relentless, especially in certain parts of the country. So, what exactly is this invisible war that's happening right outside and sometimes inside your walls? All right, to really get what this fight is all about, we need to drop into one of the toughest environments in the country for an HVAC system. Let's call it the Florida battlefield. Here, the attack is constant, and the enemies are coming from all sides. Enemy number one is the big, obvious one, the oppressive heat. You gotta think of it like a constant siege that forces your system to run pretty much nonstop, especially during those long, brutal summer months. But listen, heat is really only half the story. The second enemy is humidity. Your AC isn't just cooling the air, it's literally ripping gallons and gallons of moisture out of it every single day. That's a huge energy drain, and it creates the perfect breeding ground for a bunch of other nasty problems. And then you've got this sneaky, invisible enemy, salt. Even if you're not right on the beach, Florida's salt air drifts inland, and it is brutally corrosive. It just silently eats away at all the metal parts of your outdoor unit, literally shortening its life. And finally, we've got the shock troops, the storms. Those afternoon thunderstorms bring sudden, powerful power surges that can completely fry the delicate electronic control boards and capacitors, which are basically the brains and the heart of your entire system. Okay, so when you actually look at the numbers behind this battle, it is staggering. Running twice as many hours as a system up north, that doesn't just mean a higher energy bill. It means your system is aging at double the speed. Every single component, from the fan motor to the compressor, is being pushed its absolute limit, day in and day out. This isn't just work, it's straight up combat. So, after getting hammered by this constant assault, what happens? What are the common battle wounds? What are the specific ways these systems fail because of this nonstop fight? Let's take a look at the damage report. First up is the clogged condensate line. Remember all that water your AC's yanking out of the air? Well, it's got to go somewhere. This strain line is its escape route. But that high humidity helps algae and mold grow, and it clogs it up, just like a dirty pipe. And when that happens, water backs up, and it often overflows into your ceilings, your walls, your closets, causing major, major damage. Next on the list, a failed capacitor. And yeah, that starter pistol analogy is just perfect. This little canister-looking thing gives the jolt of energy needed to get the big parts, the compressor and the fans, running. But the intense heat and the constant use just wear it down until one day, click. Nothing. It's a small part, but without it, your entire system is totally dead in the water. And then you've got the slow bleed, a refrigerant leak. Refrigerant is basically the lifeblood of your air conditioner. When it starts leaking, your system doesn't just stop working right away. No, it tries to compensate. The compressor, which is the most expensive part, has to work harder and harder and harder until it just burns itself out from pure exhaustion. It's a quiet problem that leads to a catastrophic failure. Now, the good news is your HVAC hero doesn't just suffer in silence. When it's wounded, it sends out distress signals. The real key is knowing how to spot these calls for help before a little issue turns into a total system meltdown. And these are those warning signs. Think about it. AC blowing warm air, that could be that refrigerant leak we just talked about. Water leaking inside, classic sign of a clogged drain line. That annoying thing where it turns on and off constantly, that's called short cycling, and it could mean your system is overheating. These aren't just little annoyances. They are symptoms of the serious problems we just covered. Okay, so your system is sending out an SOS. You call a technician and they give you a repair quote. Now you're facing that big question. Do you repair the aging hero, or is it time for a full-on replacement? Well, there's a really simple rule of thumb that can help you make a smart financial choice. And this is where the $5,000 rule comes in. It's just a simple piece of math that can save you a ton of headaches and money. The formula is right here. You just multiply the age of your system in years by the cost of the repair. Let's run through a quick example to see how it works. So let's make this real. Say your air conditioner is, 12 years old, and it needs a $500 repair. You just multiply 12 by 500, and what do you get? $6,000. Since that number is over the $5,000 threshold, the rule says that replacing the whole thing is probably the smarter financial move.
And this is why it works so well. See, it's not really about the cost of this one repair. It's about the high probability of more repairs coming soon. It's just a tool to stop you from throwing good money after bad, especially when a brand new unit will be way more energy efficient and will actually save you money every single month. So, how do you avoid even getting to that tough decision in the first place? Well, you don't have to just sit around and wait for disaster to strike. You can actually go on the offensive. You can become the steward of your hero through proactive, smart maintenance. I mean, when you lay it out side by side like this, the choice is, well, it's a no-brainer, right? Neglect leads to those emergency breakdowns on the absolute hottest day of the year, higher bills, and a shorter life for your equipment. Maintenance, on the other hand, catches problems early, keeps everything running efficiently, and extends its life. It is the difference between chaos and control. And look, a real maintenance plan isn't just a guy showing up to change a filter. No, it's a full-on comprehensive checkup. A good technician cleans the coils so the unit can actually breathe, they clear out that critical drain line to prevent water damage, and they check all the electrical connections to stop failures from heat and vibration. It's about tuning up every single critical part for the fight that's ahead. So at the end of the day, that machine humming away outside your window, it is on the front lines, 24/7, defending your home's comfort. The question you really have to ask yourself is this: are you giving it the backup it needs to win the war, or are you just sending it into battle all alone?